Welcome back, man, to Earl Knows It All. And we're going to get right into the game two of these playoff series, man. We got some interesting developments that have occurred, to say the least, right? Let's go ahead and get Philly and Brooklyn out of the way. Philly handled their business in game two on Monday night. They dispatched Brooklyn, as they should, man. This is a series that most people thought is going the way that most people thought, pretty much. The big question about Philadelphia is, do we believe in James Harden? I mean, James Harden is kind of, he's become a pure point guard, I guess. He's not necessarily the, 37, 38 point game, one-man offense that he was in Houston in his prime. And you start to see that change from him in Brooklyn when he got with KD and Kyrie. He was able to kind of take a step back, and now they have Joel Embiid, MVP candidate, who, probably will win the MVP in my opinion now. Although I said Giannis was my pick for MVP, but I think Embiid probably will win it. And he got a young guy like Tyrese Maxey who can go get a bucket at any time. So James Harden is playing kind of deferential to those guys, which he definitely should Embiid, and I actually would say he should to Maxey as well at this point in his career. But they're going to need Harden to step up and make some big plays against either Boston or Milwaukee, if that's the case, as they go down the line as the playoffs progress and into the finals, if they're able to, that fortunate to make it. But we'll keep an eye on that, man. That series is 2-0. Like I said, not going to spend too much time on it. Brooklyn, they made the playoffs. That was a huge accomplishment for them after that trade. A lot of people thought they wouldn't. But, they're going to take their maybe gentleman sweep or possible sweep, actually, and kind of go into the offseason and figure out what they're going to do with Cam Johnson. Well, re-sign Cam Johnson and do what they do with that. The big time game on Monday, though, the series that has been a joy to watch, and it's given us drama, it's given us everything. Back in Sacktown, Sacramento, man, the Kings go up 2-0 on the Warriors. And a lot of people thought, and most of the betting money, I think 90% of the betting money was on Golden State to tie the series up. Most people thought Sacramento didn't have a chance in this series. Everyone was vying for position to try to play Sacramento, get into that 3-6 matchup, right? Try to avoid Phoenix, try to avoid, Memphis, I guess, if you can, or to play in anyway. But be careful what you wish for, man. Sacramento's up 2-0. Sabonis had a much better game. Fox, congratulations to De'Aaron Fox, who won the Jerry West Award for Clutch Player of the Year. This is the first time this award has been handed out by the NBA. So how do you, give yourself a precursor to having that award announced? You go out and be clutch, man. He's been big in the fourth quarter, both of those games. He's making all the right plays, and he looks unstoppable at times against his team, man. And, it's a coming out party for De'Aaron Fox. If you didn't know who he was, if you haven't heard the name, he's on the scene now, man. He's making his presence known. And I just want to give a shout out. And it feels so good as a basketball fan, because if you're a basketball fan, you've been watching basketball for a long time. Arco Arena in Sacramento used to be like one of the best arenas to kind of see a game in. That atmosphere, it came through even on TV, man, just how loud their fans were. It was raucous. They had the cowbells back in the day. They don't do the cowbells anymore. They got the new arena. They're classy now, right? But it's super loud in there, man, and they support their team hard. If you give them a good product, they are supporting them. And right now, they're putting the hurting on the Warriors, man. And, of course, I buried the lead a little bit here, but Draymond Green, man, he had a moment, man. He's known for moments, and he definitely had one in the fourth quarter, midway through the fourth quarter. He gets tangled up with Damontis Sabonis, the center for the Kings, and I will shoot Draymond a little bit of bail. Sabonis did grab his foot. He received a technical. Draymond received a technical and a flagrant one, I think it was, and was ejected from the game because he decided to go full WWE and stomp on and I ain't gonna even say stomp. It wasn't really a stomp. I don't think it was, to that effect. Sabonis did some, he embellished a little bit as well, but easy for me to say when a 250-pound man steps on your chest, right? So Draymond, trying to break free, steps on his foot, then does this weird hop and runs down the court. And after that, Draymond, I don't know if he was auditioning for Vince McMahon. He saw that the sale went through for WWE, and he's like, man, I'm about to see if I can get some of that WWE money. It's a contract year for me. The Warriors don't want to pay me, because he goes to the crowd. He's F-bombing people. He's calling people wussy, but not that word. He just went crazy, man. And I think this is really who Draymond is. I don't think it's an act because he can just snap, and I don't know what's wrong with him, man. He acts like a petulant child sometimes, but yeah, I think he thought he was. I don't know what he thought he was. I guess he may think he's riling up. I know last year when he got ejected against Memphis in the playoffs, he said, "I was riling my guys up. That's why I came back to dap them up." And I don't know what he's doing. In his mind, he's thinking this is working, I guess. But if you look at the faces on some of those guys on the Warriors, like the coaches, and just nobody's even really, they're just trying to like, man, I think it's one guy like kind of chuckling or whatever. But most of the coaches and people on the staff are just like, here we go again, Draymond. Why he's doing all these antics. And yeah, what's the point, man? Who knows? But it has come down now that Draymond has been suspended for game 3 based on that flagrant, his actions and just all of it, I guess, man. Yeah, Draymond, this not the first time. This is not his first rodeo too, man. And you would think as a veteran leader on the team that, you cost your team and a bigger series, a bigger thing than this. You're 73-9, you're up 3-1 in the finals, and you get yourself suspended against the Cavs, and that kind of gave the Cavs the momentum in the series against the Cleveland Cavaliers back in 2016. So how do you do this again? How do you get your team is down at 2-0 now? I mean, they lose this game. You're the best defensive player on this team. You're the leader, defensive player of the year type candidate player. And you get yourself ejected in a tight game in the fourth quarter, man. And I know you're frustrated, but you can't do that, man. You can't. And I guess what's the solution? What do? Kick him, I guess, man, or just get your foot loose, man. But you don't got to stomp on the guy because you know how this is going to end. And it ended that way with a suspension for game 3. So, and more beyond that, let's think about the way this season has started for the Warriors with the punch during training camp. Heard around the world, I guess. Draymond punches Jordan Poole. This team has had an uneven season all year. Horrible on the road, great at home. Wiggins and just all the drama that surrounded this team. And it's tough when you've been on this many runs and, some of the pieces move in and out, and eventually, some of this stuff will begin to wear on you. And it looks like this, for me, I don't know, man. I'm a laid back, easy guy, and I can only imagine. Steph Curry seems to be the same way. I would imagine these guys, they know they need Draymond, but at the same time, it's like, man, you costing us like some opportunities with our legacy when you do this stuff. Like we could have 5 rings right now, more than likely. Now, who knows if KD comes, if they win that series against the Cavs or whatever, but and it's like it's no remorse with it too. That's the thing. He's like, oh, nah, stand in it, man. Nah, I did what I did. Like what's wrong with y'all? Everybody would do that. No, Draymond, everybody wouldn't do that. So, I mean, it's an interesting thing, man. It's tough to kind of see the Warriors go through this. Now, question, do we think the Warriors are done, though? I mean, Sacramento's hell served. A lot of people didn't think that they would even do that, but they've done what they're supposed to do. Home court advantage. As the old adage says, the series doesn't start until someone has won on the other team's home court. So, I guess this series hasn't started. Forget everything you're seeing. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain, right? Game 3, what will happen with Golden State? They're tough at the Chase Center. They had one of the best home records, despite having one of the worst road records. So this kind of has played out the way their season's played out. Now they go back home, but not fully intact with Draymond suspended. What's going to happen? It'll be interesting to see. My prediction on it, I think the Warriors will win game 3. I think Steph has played well in this series. Klay Thompson has been shooting lights out. I mean, they've played well. They just can't stop the Kings. The Kings have played well as well. So the Kings have passed the first playoff test of being equipped to come in, kind of gather your emotions and win the games at home. But it's a different animal on the road, especially with this Warriors team that has all this experience they have. And, they're the defending champs. It's going to be interesting to see what the Kings do, how they show up. Now, they got Mike Brown, Coach of the Year, voted by the Coaches Association, and more than likely the AP will vote him Coach of the Year as well. And he's been with the Warriors for the past 6 or 7 years, I think. So he knows that team, and he's putting – and they got Harrison Barnes, who kind of knows a little bit of what's in the sauce, too. He was there early on, so he's played big in this series and has had some big moments. I just think the Kings, they've shown this all year based on their record. They're the 3 seed. They may be the better team, man. They may not have the best player, and De'Aaron Fox is, he's putting his hat, he's putting his name in the hat for that as well. But Steph Curry is still Steph Curry, so we got to give respect to Steph. But the Kings may just be the better team, and they may be advancing. And we'll stay tuned to see what happens with that.